Hi, I'm Dr. Whitney Scott. I'll be talking about how to use strategies from acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT for short, to manage uncertainty and emotions during the COVID pandemic. First and foremost, it almost goes without saying that these are very challenging times. Life is very uncertain right now, and it's natural to feel fearful, anxious, sad, guilty, frustrated, and even angry. These feelings themselves are not problematic. However, certain behaviors in response to these feelings may be more or less helpful. It's likely that the COVID situation will be more like a marathon than a sprint. With this in mind, some actions for dealing with uncertainty and difficult emotions, while they may seem helpful in the short term, they may not work in the long term. For example, overanalyzing possible future scenarios or constantly checking the news may feel like it gives you a sense of control in the short term. While it's important to stay informed, constantly doing this may not be helpful for your well-being in the long term. Similarly, it's natural to want to distract yourself to avoid difficult thoughts and feelings that come up around the COVID situation. This can work in the short term. Again, though, you might find that it's hard to distract away from these thoughts and feelings in the long term, and this might create more difficulties for you. Acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, is an evidence-based approach that aims to reduce human suffering. This approach views our thoughts, feelings, urges, and physical sensations as an understandable product of our learning history and current situation. ACT strategies can be used to help respond effectively to a wide range of challenges that people might experience in life. These strategies can be applied in everyday life and in times of crisis, like the current pandemic. Dr. Russ Harris, a world-renowned ACT clinician, has put together some very helpful resources for strategies you can implement wherever you are. He has coined the acronym FACE COVID as a guide. Here is an adapted summary of his FACE COVID resource. First of all, focus on what's in your control. There's so much going on in the world today that's outside of our control. We also may not be able to control what's showing up in our thoughts and feelings. What we can control is our actions. Next, acknowledge your thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations. Bring a sense of curiosity to what's showing up for you in a given moment. Approach these experiences like a scientist would and observe these with curiosity. If you're feeling overwhelmed or notice certain thoughts on repeat, come back into your body. A simple grounding exercise is to gently push your feet into the ground and just focus on noticing what this feels like. Next, engage in what you're doing in this moment. There are many distractions right now. If you find that your mind is often distracted, do something to refocus on what's happening in this moment. This might be noticing the sights and sounds around you. Committed action means doing what matters to you when you face challenges. With the current COVID restrictions, flexibility and creativity are key to this. See if there are new ways to do things you enjoy or care about. This might include, for example, having a virtual meal with a friend, or trying out a new exercise routine online. Opening up means noticing and making space for whatever thoughts, feelings, or bodily sensations are showing up for you. This doesn't mean you like these experiences. This is like saying, I will have you because you're already here. This is letting go of the struggle to control things we can't control. A simple way to practice opening up to thoughts and feelings is to label these. For example, this might be like saying, I notice I'm having a thought that I can't do anything I want to, or I'm noticing a feeling of anxiety and tightness in my chest. Moments of crisis can be a very important time to reconnect with your values, or the things that are important to you in life. You may find that your values are changing in light of the current situation, or that you're balancing a number of different values at this time. Whatever the case, it can be helpful to regularly reflect on the following questions. What kind of person do I want to be during this pandemic? Who are my heroes and heroines? What qualities do I admire in them? How would they act in this situation? Once this is all over, what do I want to be proud of looking back? In addition to the skills I just talked about, it's important to identify resources like social support to help you manage during these times. This was discussed in an earlier talk. And finally, the D of FACE COVID is to make sure you disinfect and distance as per recommendations. Another way to summarize the Face COVID ACT-based skills is acting in ways that are aware, open, and engaged. This means noticing and making room for the thoughts and feelings that are showing up for you, connecting with the present moment, and doing what matters to you when you face challenges. Dealing with and facing the COVID pandemic will be a community effort. Acting in ways that are aware, open, and engaged can help both you and others around you. Being open and honest when you're struggling in this situation can foster an environment where others feel okay to do the same. A former colleague, Dr. Shrina Unadkat, recently wrote a piece about supporting doctors through this crisis. Her words poignantly show the connecting power of openness in the face of uncertainty, and here's a quote that I've taken from her writing. We can also look after each other by compassionately witnessing and acknowledging the daily experience of working through a global health crisis. This is an ever-evolving situation, and many people have a sense of unreality at the moment. Having other people match our experience is grounding and helps us to make sense of what's happening, which is important for longer-term emotional processing. Thank you all for listening. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.